Hi everyone, it's Joe from Homegrown Musician and welcome back to another video. So I've gotten some feedback on my first video, and even though people seem to really like it, which is great, a few people have said that it'd be good to have the opportunity to use what we've learned in the video. So if you haven't already, I really advise going and watching my first video about reading pitch, and I'll link to that in the description below. And whilst you're down there, you may as well look at the free worksheet that I've provided to help you practice some of the things we're going to use in today's lesson. So if you've watched my first video on reading pitch, let's get started. So the first exercise we're going to do is a little bit of note recognition practice. So what's going to happen is, the note's going to flash up on the screen and stay for a few seconds. Then after a while the name's going to be revealed, and if you get the note name right, then you get a pat on the back and 5 house points, and if you get it wrong, then you've learnt a new thing, so it doesn't matter. So as the game goes on, I'm going to try and make it a little bit harder, so watch out for things like sharps and flats, legend lines, and be sure to check which clef we're using. So here comes our first note. Be sure to either write it down or say out loud, doesn't really matter as long as you know what it is. And it's a C. Here's the second note. And that's an A. Here comes the third note. And that's a D. Here comes the fourth note. So if you want, try and keep a track of your score or the amount you've got, just for a personal reference. And that's a B flat. The fifth note, and the first one using a legend line. And that's an A sharp. So now we're going to go down to bass clef. Just remember that all of the notes have moved down a line or a space. And here comes the first one. And that's an A. The second note in bass clef. F sharp. So the third note in bass clef. And that one's a D. So the next exercise we're going to do is all about accidentals. So how this exercise is going to work is I'm going to take one of these key signatures, which is what they're called, and I'm going to show it to you. And you're going to write down which notes are going to be affected and how they're affected. So for the first example, there's one flat, and it sits on the B line. So what happens is all of the B's after this point get flattened. So what you need to write down is B and flat. So if you're a little bit stuck, just have a quick pause and watch my first video to explain, but I'm sure you'll pick up easily enough. Again, just watch out for the clef that we're using. So this is the first key signature. Remember, tell me which notes are being affected and how they're being affected. So that's 2 sharps, one on the F line and one on the C space, which means all of the F's are sharpened and all of the C's are sharpened. So here's the second example, again in treble clef.
Sit.
So that's 3 flats, one on the B line, one on the E space, and one on the A space. So that means all of the B's, all of the E's, and all of the A's have been flattened. So here's the next example, again in treble clef. So this one's a little bit harder, so I'll give you a tad more time. So this is 4 sharps, one on the F line, one on the C space, one on the G space, and one on the D line. So that means F, C, G, and D have all been sharpened. Okay, so here's the fourth example, this time in bass clef. So just remember, all of the lines and spaces have changed now. Okay, so this is 2 flats, and that's B flat and E flat. And for the final example, this one isn't too hard. Okay, so that's just 1 sharp, F sharp. Okay, so that's everything. Tally up your scores and find out what you got. So I really hope you enjoyed this new kind of format. If you did, like, subscribe and share. And if you didn't, let me know in the comment below. Or in fact, just tell me anything in the comment below. What's your favourite note? Remember to keep your eye out for lessons and videos every week, and let me know what you want to see next.